Good morning, people of the world. It is a morning of catastrophes and blasphemies. We are preaching the good Lord's word. He says we are going to have a strong day, a day that will be held back by nothing other than your self-doubt. We're opening our window and closing our window. We gotta find a little better angling for that. What's up, man? We're talking Frazzlogging. We're Frazz-grogging. Frazz-driving. We're driving our brand new Ford 2008 Fusion. And we are driving at speeds unparalleled. Well, Eagles, get out of here. Banjo-Kazooie, get the fuck out of here. We're driving faster than a mother. Alright? So what's up, guys? We're driving today, having a good drive log. We're driving far, going east on New York. No, but let's talk, man. I'm trying out the new driving log because we've got a driving compartment for the camera. Yo, is this a really good camera? Yo, this looks really good. Very good quality. No, but seriously, I beat Dark Souls last night. Dark Souls 2 for the Xbox One, playing Scholar of the First Sin. So, they said it took about 93 hours to beat the game, but I think a lot of that could have been me sitting still. So there's that. Yeah. But that aside, yeah, it was a really good game. Loved it. A couple frustrating moments, sure, but that's Dark Souls for you. Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Punana Putada. So, yeah, we love the show of that. After we played Dark Souls, we lounged for the rest of the night. Sorry if I'm acting a little weird right now. I got a cop on my tail. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but I'm doing the speed limit, going a little 5 miles over, but he's pushing me pretty hard. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Did that cops make me nervous, man? Holy shit. Oh, he's got his lights off too. That's so creepy. Like, I don't know. Something about a black cop car chasing you. Not even doing the speed limit. What the fuck's he doing? He's doing 40 miles an hour? Dude, it's 55, bro. Better not be following me. You weirdo. Alright, so we are going for our left turn. Alright, this is an interesting Frazzlog. Bye-bye, state police officer. Outran him, guys. You can't catch me in my Ford Fusion. We're talking fusing time and speed. Speed and light speed. We're going speeds unparalleled. We're talking Banjo-Kazooie on speed. Alright? No, but for real, I beat I beat Dark Souls last night. Loved it. There's a couple things that I didn't quite enjoy. I don't know if my game glitched at a couple parts or what, but for example, the Lucatiel side quest, that never really played out for me. I got halfway through it. I can't remember the zone. I think it's the third encounter you have with her. Third or fourth encounter. After the wharf, No Man's Wharf, you get to a point where you're supposed to find her. But I was reading a guide made for the original game, not Scholar of the First Sin. Because Scholar of the First Sin added stuff. So basically, it moved her to another section. I didn't know where to find her. I think that's what screwed me up, potentially, but I'm not 100%. So I'm a little curious about that. But still, though, that was a part that kind of iffed me out a little bit. I don't know if that was my own doing or if that was the game glitching on me or something. But there was that. What else kind of got me? There's just a couple things. I think it all just... Some of it played out because I was playing the new version of the game and I was reading an old guide. But at the same time, I don't know. The game, everyone beats this game up. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't think it was that bad. Like, everyone makes it out, oh, Dark Souls 1 was the best one, or Demon Souls was the best one, or even Bloodborne was better than Dark Souls 2. I've read things about Dark Souls 2 where everyone's like, literally within minutes they hated the game. Where I didn't see the problems. I don't see a problem with life gems. I don't see a problem with slower combat or whatever, delayed parrying or some shit. Like I've heard so many comments or complaints or whatever. So I'm kind of mixed about it. I like the game. I think overall it was a very good presentation. The only thing I didn't like is they kind of story-wise left a lot of things not exactly unexplained, but I just feel like, I don't know. That's what those games are. I get that. But for some reason in Dark Souls 1 I just had a lot more closure. Like, for example, I didn't know the queen or whatever was trying to come after me. She just kind of shows up as the final boss. Spoiler. They just literally throw her out of nowhere. She comes out of nowhere. And that was that. But the thing that threw me off, though, is there was so much random shit I had to do. Like, I don't know how much longer I got this video for. My phone's battery my memory is starting to get full. Nassandra, she comes out of nowhere as the villain. You see her one time in the fucking game. After watching a couple other videos, people were saying, like, oh, no, if you backtracked and went to that specific room in the castle and talked to her, she would have said more stuff to you that kind of hinted at her being the villain. And, like, oh, if you did something or so, you'd have more of a hint or whatever. But I don't know. With Gwen, I feel like an immediate sense of, like, built up, like, fuck yeah, we're in the final dungeon. He's going to be at the end of this fucking pathway, man. We're going to come across Gwen. I guess you would call it Final Fantasy 13 syndrome, where they don't build up a villain. And it kind of sucks, you know? RPGs are supposed to be about you playing a role, but I think a part of that role is playing the villain's role. You get to see it play out. So it kind of sucked that you didn't really get to see that play out too well. But I'm trying to think. Did I have any other complaints here? There we go. A little better lighting, guys. Like that? A little better. Hanging out in my compartment. Put this. We'll get the full fucking lighting going on in here, man. Talking lights all over the place. Window open, because we got the little peepees out. I think that complicates everything. But, let's see. What did I like about the game? It's definitely easier because of all the bonfires. One thing that I didn't get either is, near the end of the game, all of a sudden, I forget the exact bonfire I got to, but I got to a bonfire, and all of a sudden, I could see every single missed bonfire, every single area in the game that I missed. It just opened up on the bonfire list, and up to that point, when you scroll down to the last bonfire, like, zone you've been to, that was the last area on your list. As soon as I hit this one bonfire specifically, it said, oh, there's all these question mark zones that I haven't been to yet. There was like 10 of them or 12 of them that I hadn't been to at the end of the game. So I was thinking, like, okay, those are probably the DLC areas or whatever, so and so. Which I'm not sure when I'm gonna go to the DLC. I will eventually go back to the DLC, but for the most part, I just kind of wanted to get my initial playthrough done out of the way, see what that's about. New Game Plus isn't forced on you, so you go back to the bonfire before the final boss or after the boss. You just don't initiate New Game right away. When you go to the bonfire, it says, do you want to start New Game Plus, basically. No, the game, it felt, like, where do I even want to start? The combat to me felt pretty good for the most part. The thing I didn't like is the parrying system sucked. The backstabbing felt sucky to me. In the first game, I remember specifically, like, learning how to backstab a lot of enemies because it was very useful, and same with the parrying. Like, that was the way I beat Gwyn, because I was so severely underleveled when I got to him that I couldn't fight him legitimately. I couldn't block. I sucked at dodging, so I basically had to left trigger and parry his attacks back at him, just because I couldn't. I think what happened is I didn't play the whole game with a shield, so, like, my stats were basically pure strength. Yeah, I think that's what I did. I put everything into strength just so, because I had, like, a one-handed mace that I loved. There was a piece of wood and it had spikes in it, and it was really good. So, like, by the end of the first game, I was just so, like, severely underleveled and unprepared that I didn't want to go grind and level up other stuff or go find a shield that would work good or go upgrade something. In this game, immediately, I was leveling up my HP, leveling up my dex, leveling up my strength, leveling up my my vitality so I could carry more. I basically played the game with heavy armors. I played the entire game with a woodcutting axe. Like, I experimented with some other things later on in the game, but for the most part, yeah, I used that woodcutting axe the entire game. Maxed it to level 10, gave it a uncut stone so it had raw damage on it. we were throwing out, I think 340 damage or 360 damage just with that thing by the end of the game. So I was delivering, you know, between 300 to 500 damage at every swing. It was really powerful. But that, and then you had the Pyromancer's Glove, so you could throw fireballs even though I wasn't a mage. Those were doing easily 300 damage each fireball. That's pretty cool. Boss fights I didn't really have any trouble with. I think there's probably maybe 3 bosses that I was just like, fuck you, fuck this game, fuck everything. The Pursuer was #1. I had so much trouble on that guy. Pissed me off. That's what started my initial quit of the game. I got the game back in May or June. I just finished it here in August, so that's what delayed me the most. It put me off probably like a month. So we had that. We had, the video's probably going to end here in a minute. Oh, shit. I think it will. I don't know. It says I got 41 minutes left. Maybe not. The Pursuer was the first boss that gave me a lot of trouble. The second boss, I want to say, was... Who the hell was I having trouble with last night? I was stuck on a boss. Who the fuck was it? I can't remember the exact list of people right now. I'd fight a boss maybe between 3 and 5 times, and eventually I'd get him. But it was... The Pursuer was #1. I ended up having to use the Batista trick, where you run over to the crossbow, shoot an arrow at him, and then do that. I did that. Who the fuck was it? I feel like the boss that's holding her decapitated head, she gave me some trouble. And then it wasn't the final boss. It was the boss before it. The Throne Watcher and the Throne Defender, they gave me quite a bit of trouble too. I guess really it wasn't that hard. I guess what I'm trying to get at. There was a couple bosses that sure maybe made me die 5-10 times. That's about it. But for the most part, I didn't really have any trouble with the bosses in the game. The thing that killed me was just traveling back to the boss every time you die, which sucked. But no, it does. It teaches you restraint, which is really cool. It's a really good thing to have as an achievement hunter. These games kind of train you to be a lot more aware of your environments and to be safer and play a rush it when you need to know to rush it. And they teach you technique, which is really cool. What else can I talk about the game? Music was good as always. What else do I like? I don't know. I really liked the game. I had a lot of fun with it. I don't even know what to fucking say, man. I liked the game. Do I recommend the game? Easily. Do I recommend it at $60? It's hard to say. Because for me, as an RPG player, I thought, fuck yeah, $60? Oh yeah, I'd go buy it again. As somebody who likes RPGs but never has really played the Dark Souls series, I'd say go pick up the first Dark Souls, or even Demon Souls, or Bloodborne. Come back to this. Because the Dark Souls series definitely stands out to me more than it does to the Demon Souls and the Bloodborne series. It's a lot more gothic and a lot more